So, have you ever been accused of something or attacked about something? And when you defend yourself, things get out of control and then you're the one who ends up blamed? Well, if this sounds familiar, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and founder of Foundations Coaching. So this just recently happened to a client of mine. He was at work minding his own business when he was accused of erasing something off of the board in the room that somebody else needed. And he quite, commonly, like a lot of us do, basically said, I didn't do that. And the other person just wouldn't let it go, kept at my client. And instead of my client just kind of staying quiet or just ignoring him, they both got in each other's faces. There was chest bumping going on, raised voices. Other people came out of their offices. And my client basically ended up taking the brunt of what happened, even though he hadn't done what he'd been accused of and he didn't start it. And I'm very familiar with this because this happened with me. Um, I developed a reputation when I was in college because one of my boyfriends would needle me quietly and then I would explode. And I was the one who ended up with the reputation as a bitch. And it didn't matter how right I was or how unfair my partner was being. I ended up wearing that label because of my behavior. And when I talked to my client about what happened, he said, well, I had no choice. I had to do this. And for a long time, that's what I thought too. But the truth of the matter is, there's always a choice. And I know that this is really tough because I didn't know how to do anything different. I had developed this pattern of behavior with one of my sisters who basically did the same thing. She would do things to annoy me. And then when I would lose my temper, that's the time my mother would walk in. And guess what? I didn't get any credence for for what had happened to me. It seemed like all the blame came onto me. And this is what happens when you're the one who loses their temper. And a lot of people, like my client said, well, I had to stand up for myself. And there's a difference between standing up for yourself and engaging in unproductive behavior. And when we get into arguments with people, most of the time, that's going to be unproductive. One, it gives the other person the control. And I was talking to my client and I said, saying that you didn't do what he accused you of doing was perfectly legitimate. But when he continued to try to convince you or continue to blame you, then when you got angry, you basically gave him what he needed, what he wanted. And you both end up looking bad. And now where are you? And so what he said to me was, well, if I didn't stand up for myself, it would be the same as backing down. It's like, no. Not engaging in an unproductive conversation is not the same as backing down. Now, other people may think that's what you're doing, but that's not really what's happening. What you're choosing to do is to take the high road, to honor your own knowledge. You know you didn't do this. He knew he hadn't done this. But once you get back and forth with somebody, you are giving them acknowledgement that their position is accurate. Now, there are times when we do need to stand up, when we do need to engage with somebody who is behaving completely inappropriately. But how you do it makes a difference. And when you can stay calm and you can stay grounded, then you are in control of the situation. And and it is important. There are times in our lives when we're seeing something that's going on or something is happening to us that we need to put an end to. But most of the time, the best way to do that is to make sure that you have your own emotions under control. You're not going to lose it. You're not going to be into that chest bumping thing that was going on with my client. And you'll be able to address it in a clear, concise, calm way. Now, that may mean you may not be able to address it in the moment. You may actually have to walk away, or in his particular case, he actually had headphones. He could have put his headphones on and just ignored the guy. But there are times when we have to stand up, and you need to be able to do that calmly, like I said, and clearly. Because once you lose it, once you get down in the mud with this other person, you're just as dirty as they are. So if you'd like some information on how to do this effectively, I'd really love to have a conversation with you. So please feel free to put a comment in the section down below. You can direct message me, or you can send me an email at Lesli, Lesli, at foundationscoachingnc.com. And I'm going to tell you what I suggest to people, what we will talk about is what I learned. And because, I've done it. I still have a hot, fast temper. And so I still have to be the one in control. So hopefully you found that helpful. And until next week, stay loving. Okay, we're not stopping.